Hello, learners. How are you all? I hope you are doing well. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Learn to Explore. I welcome you all to our YouTube channel, Learn to Explore. Guys, please do like, share, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and also don't forget to hit the bell icon to get the latest update. As you have already know, we have already covered Indian economy and Indian sociology book 2 chapters of class 12. So today we are going to start with class 12 Indian economy chapter 3, which is liberalization, privatization and globalization and appraisal. In the last chapter we had studied about the situation of Indian economy during 1950 to 1990, and in first chapter we studied about the situation of Indian economy in on the eve of independence. So let's start with the era of 1991, where liberalization, privatization and globalization started in India. So there is a consensus in the world today that economic development is not all, and the GDP is not necessarily a measure of progress of a society. This is said by Mr. K.R. Narayan, who was the former president of India. So guys, there was some thinking in the world in पहले कि economic development is the necessary indicator for the progress. But later on, the consensus has changed, and GDP is not considered as a necessary measure to progress of society. There are many measures from which we can count the measure of society. Guys, please don't worry about the notes and the content. I have made these notes from the NCRT. Whatever I found important, I have just copy pasted it from the original NCRTs, and for your revision and exam purpose, you can rely on these notes. These are made out of your original NCRT, and I have put it everything important here, so you can rely on it. So let's get started with the chapter. Since independence, India followed the mixed economy framework by combining the advantages of the capitalist economic system with those of the socialist economic system. तो इंडिया ने स्टार्टिंग से ही मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमी फ्रेमवर्क यूज किया था, जहाँ पे हमने दोनों के ही एडवांटेज को यूज किया था, कैपिटलिस्ट इकोनॉमी एंड सोशलिस्ट इकोनॉमी. Some scholars argue that over the years, this policy resulted in the establishment of a variety of rules and laws which were aimed at controlling and regulating the economy, ended up instead in hampering the process of growth and development. तो कुछ स्कॉलर्स का मानना है कि इस पॉलिसी की वजह से क्या हुआ, जो ये पॉलिसीज हमने इंडिया ने अडॉप्ट की, ये सब इन सब का एम कंट्रोल और रेगुलेशन था, और इनकी वजह से जो हमारी ग्रोथ प्रोसेस है वो हैम्पर हुई है, ना कि इंक्रीज हुई है. जबकि जो अदर स्कॉलर्स हैं, अदर स्टेट्स, अदर पीपल, अदर व्यू, व्हाट दे सेड द डेवलपमेंटल पाथ फ्रॉम इंडिया स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम द near the stagnation and has been able to achieve growth in savings, developed a diversified industrial sector which produces a variety of goods, and has experienced sustainable expansion of agricultural output which has ensured the food security. जबकि जो दूसरे व्यूज वाले स्कॉलर्स हैं, जिनका अदर पॉइंट ऑफ स्टेट है, वो क्या कहते हैं कि इंडिया ने नियर स्टेग्नेशन की सिचुएशन से स्टार्ट किया था, एंड ड्यू टू दीज पॉलिसीज इंडिया इज नाउ self-reliant on the food security. India is not dependent for agricultural outputs on others. In 1991, India met with an economic crisis relating to the external debt. The government was not able to make repayments on its borrowing from abroad. Foreign exchange reserves, which we generally maintain to import petroleum and other important items, dropped to the not sufficient level even for a fortnight. तो क्या हुआ 1991 में, इंडिया had to face an economic crisis where government is not able to repay the borrowings, not able to import the required goods and petroleum from the abroad due to the shortage of foreign currency. All this together led to introduce a new set of policy measures which changed the direction of our developmental strategies. Here we will look at the background of the crisis, measures that government has adopted and their impact on the various economic sectors. So let's moving forward. Guys, in case you have any doubt, any query or anything to ask or anything to suggest, you can please ask in the comment section below. Please do mention your doubts, and in case you like it, please do let me know in the comment section. It will really motivate me, and it will really help me to know that you are studying and I am able to benefiting even if one of the person. So let's moving forward. Background of crisis. Crisis in India is figured out because of the inefficient management in the Indian economy in 1980s. The revenues generated by the government were not adequate to meet the growing expenses. So government had to resort to borrowing to repay its debt and was caught in a red debt trap. क्या हुआ कि गवर्नमेंट के पास इतने पैसे नहीं बचे थे कि उस ज़रूरी चीज़ों के लिए खर्च किए जा सके, तो अब उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट को और ज़्यादा लोन लेना पड़ा, तो देयर वाज अ डेट ट्रैप इन विच इंडियन गवर्नमेंट वाज स्टक. So what were the causes of economic crisis? Let's see. Guys, I have put it these things in the point format so that it is easy to retain for you people. The continued spending on development programs of the government did not generate additional revenue. The government was not able to generate sufficient funds from internal sources such as taxation. Expenditure on areas like social sector and defense doesn't provided immediate returns. So there was a need to utilize the rest of the revenue in a highly effective manner, which government failed to do so. So these were the causes of economic crisis where government failed or where policy didn't work, and what were the problems India was facing. The income from public sector undertakings was also not very high to meet the growing expenditures. Foreign exchange borrowed from other countries and international financial institutions was spent on meeting consumption needs and to make repayments on the other loans. Okay. Resultantly, foreign exchange reserves declined to a level that was not adequate to finance imports for more than 2 weeks. इन सब का रिजल्ट क्या हुआ? फॉरेन एक्सचेंज इतने शॉर्ट हो गए कि दैट दे वर नॉट इवन एडिक्वेट टू फिल द import for even 2 weeks. There was also not sufficient foreign exchange to pay the interest that needed to be paid to international lenders. No country or international funder was willing to lend to India at that time. So there was nobody ready to help India. Why? Let's look at the reasons. There was increasing fiscal deficit. Adverse balance of payment was the condition of India. Gulf crisis. Rise in prices of even essential commodities. High rate of deficit financing. So India had no other option left than approaching the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, that is IBRD, which is also popularly known as World Bank, and the IMF, International Monetary Fund. क्या हुआ कि there was nobody to help India. Even the international partners or any other country was not ready to help India. So India had to knock the doors of IMF and World Bank. And India received $7 billion as loan to manage this crisis, to get out of this problematic situation. But to availing these loans, there were certain conditions imposed by World Bank and IMF, by these international agencies. They expected India to liberalize and open up the economy by removing restrictions on the private sector. This was kind of their condition before providing a loan. They asked India to reduce the role of government in many areas and remove trade restrictions between India and other countries, so other countries can trade freely in India and there is open market available for everyone. India had to agree to these conditions of World Bank and IMF, and it announced the new economic policy known as NEP. This NEP consisted of wide-ranging economic reforms. The thrust of the policy is was towards creating a more competitive environment in the economy and removing the barriers to entry and growth of firms. NEP may there was wide range of economic reforms which created a competitive environment in the Indian economy and removed the barriers of entry and growth of firms. Guys, I hope I'm able to clear your doubts and you are able to understand what I'm trying to convey here. In case you are not, please do ask your doubts or anything else you want to ask in the comment section below. I would like to answer all your queries, doubts, anything related to the economic subject. Economics is a subject. In case you have doubt from any other chapter or any book, you can still ask. I will try to answer. Okay, let's moving forward. The set of policies can broadly be classified into two groups. There we are talking about the NEP, the new economic policy. It consisted of two groups, the stabilization measures and the structural reform measures. Stabilization measures are the short-term measures intended to correct some of the weaknesses that have developed in the balance of payments and to bring inflation under control. तो stabilization measures क्या होते हैं? शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए होते हैं to improve the condition of BOP, to uh, for to bring inflation under control. In simple word, it means there was a need to maintain sufficient foreign exchange reserves and keep the rising prices under control. To control inflation and keep the foreign exchange reserves, stabilization measures were used. Then the next kind of policy was structural reform policies. They are long-term measures and aimed at improving the efficiency of the economy and increasing its international competitiveness by removing the rigidities in various segments of the Indian economy. So structural reform policies क्या होती हैं? They are long term and they are aimed at increasing the efficiency of economy and the competitiveness with the international competitors. After this, the government of India initiated a variety of policies under the three heads: liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Liberalization, this is also known as LPG reforms. Whenever you are go to hear about LPG, don't be confused it with the liquid petroleum gas. In economics, whenever we are studying about policy and reforms, LPG refers to liberalization, privatization, and globalization under the new economic policy of 1990, which India adopted after the economic crisis. So let's begin with the liberalization. Liberalization was introduced to put an end to these restrictions and open various sectors of the economy. This is generally defined as loosening of government regulations in a country to allow for private sector companies to operate business transactions with fewer restrictions. In relation to developing countries, it refers to opening of economic borders for multinational and foreign investment. So does this done by the India. For a developing country, what liberalization means? It means the opening of economic borders. So India did the same. So what were the objectives of this policy, the liberalization? Let's look at it. To increase the competition among domestic industries, to increase foreign capital formation and technology. Then the third one is to increase the debt burden of the country. Sorry. To decrease the debt burden of the country. Then the next is to encourage export and import of goods and services. And the next is to expand the size of the market. So guys, these were the objectives of liberalization. Also, there were some economic reforms made under liberalization. We will be continue here from here in the next class. You can have a look on this what we are going to study in the next class. Economic reforms under liberalization, under which we are going to study about deregulation of industrial sector, financial sector reforms, tax reforms, foreign exchange reforms, trade and investment policy reforms. Then we will going to study the next policies like privatization and globalization. So guys, keep in mind from here we will continue in the next class. So till then, keep revising and stay safe. From here, we will continue in the next class. And guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, in case if you haven't started with the economics, kindly go back to the playlist. I have provided you the link in the description below. You can watch all the videos of chapter first and second. Link of the playlist is given in the description below, and for sociology also link is provided in the description. You can check on it. And guys, so please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Please share with your friends, recommend the channel so that we will bring you more quality content soon. So till then, keep revising, stay tuned, ask your doubts. Thank you.